How did one bad decision at a promotion board haunt you for years? Staff Sergeant Promotion Board, 5 years in the Army, solid record, good evaluations, confident I'd make the cut. The board was 3 senior NCOs I'd never met before. Sergeant First Class Donovan sat in the middle, 25 years in, chest full of ribbons, face that had seen some serious combat. To his left was Master Sergeant Pierce, right was First Sergeant Wade. Board started normal. Questions about Army values, leadership principles, basic drill and ceremony stuff. I was nailing every answer, feeling good about my chances. Then Donovan asked me something that should have been easy. Sergeant Curtis, what would you do if you caught a soldier in your squad stealing from the post exchange? Standard question, standard answer. Report it up the chain of command, ensure proper accountability, counsel the soldier. Easy. But I'd had 3 cups of coffee that morning, was feeling witty, wanted to stand out from the other candidates who'd probably give the boring textbook response. So instead I said, well, Sergeant, depends what they're stealing. If it's a candy bar, maybe just a stern talking to. If it's a TV, that's different. Gotta use proportional response. Thought I was being clever, showing nuanced judgment, demonstrating real-world leadership flexibility instead of robotic rule following. The room went ice cold. Pierce stopped writing notes. Wade's eyes went wide. Donovan just stared at me for what felt like 5 minutes. So you're saying theft is acceptable depending on the dollar amount? Donovan asked quietly. My brain finally caught up to my mouth, realized what I just said, tried to backtrack. No, Sergeant, I meant that you'd handle different situations with appropriate responses, but all theft is wrong and should be reported through proper channels. Too late. The damage was done. Donovan made a note on his paper. Big, long note that took 30 seconds to write. Never a good sign. Rest of the board was disaster. Every answer I gave, they'd circle back. Is that another situation where rules are negotiable, Sergeant Curtis? Or would you use proportional response for that too? Failed the board. Didn't make Staff Sergeant that cycle. But that wasn't the worst part. Turned out Sergeant First Class Donovan was transferring to my brigade. Became the operations sergeant. Worked in the same building as me. Every time I saw him in the hallway, he'd nod and say, "Morning, Curtis. Steal anything proportional lately?" Other NCOs heard about my board disaster. Started making jokes. Better lock up the candy bars. Curtis is working today. Or proportional response, Curtis strikes again. Tried to live it down, kept my head down, did excellent work, stayed out of trouble, but the nickname stuck. Proportional Curtis. Applied for the promotion board again 6 months later, different board members, thought I'd finally escape my mistake. First question out of the gate. Sergeant Curtis, we've heard some interesting things about your last board appearance. Care to explain your views on theft? Donovan had briefed them. They were testing to see if I'd learned anything. Gave them the most textbook, by the book answer possible. Quoted regulations word for word. They passed me, but barely. Made Staff Sergeant on my second try. Thought it was over. Wrong again. Got orders to a new unit in Germany. First day there, meeting my new platoon sergeant. Guy named Sterling, another 20-year veteran. Oh, you're Proportional Curtis, he said during our introduction. Donovan told me about you. Said you were a good soldier who made one really stupid comment. It had followed me across the Atlantic Ocean. My reputation arrived before I did. For the next 3 years, every new supervisor I got had heard the story. Every board I sat on, someone would bring it up. Remember that guy who said stealing was okay if it's proportional? Finally made Sergeant First Class 8 years later. Should have made it in 6. Those 2 extra years were directly because of one sarcastic comment at a promotion board when I was 24 years old. At my Sergeant First Class promotion ceremony, guess who showed up? Donovan. He'd retired 2 years earlier but came back for my promotion specifically. Shook my hand afterward. Curtis, you turned out to be a fine NCO, but I've never forgotten that board. Used your answer as a teaching example for 73 other promotion boards. Know how many soldiers have tried to give me similar smartass responses? How many, Sergeant? I asked. 0, because I tell them about Proportional Curtis first. You became my cautionary tale. He handed me a coffee mug, had proportional response printed on the side. Said he'd been waiting 8 years to give it to me. I still have that mug. Use it every morning. Reminds me that one moment of thinking you're clever can follow you for your entire career. The Army never forgets. And senior NCOs talk to each other a lot. That's how one bad decision at a promotion board haunted me for 8 years and turned me into a legend for all the wrong reasons.